What's going on? This is Kevin Ross, and you are now watching F78 TV. Yes, so first time in London, really excited about it. I went to St. Pancras to play on Elton John's piano. We just had a Peace Express Live, the performance yesterday. That was really, really great. London embraced me. I really took that energy in. It was a good time, and I look forward to coming back to London early 2020. Yes, so my name is Kevin Ross. I'm an R&B artist from Washington, D.C., Southeast to be specific, and went to Duke Ellington School of the Arts. Then I went to Berklee College of Music. Then I took my talents down to Atlanta to start writing for artists like Foxx, Trey Songz, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, T.I, Toni Braxton, who I was just Grammy nominated for the song, for the album Sex and Cigarettes. So yeah.
Best place to visit in DC? Maybe you want to come?
Best place to visit in DC. You have to make your way to the Martin Luther King Memorial. That's a beautiful spot, great place. As far as food, you definitely got to go to Ben's Chili Bowl. That's kind of a staple there. It's so many places, man. I just got to come out and and enjoy yourself. But it's a great city. Yeah. I started making music when I was 16 years old. My friend had a recording set up, and so I was working hard for money. I gathered about $1,000, and then I literally bought his setup. So I really started recording and producing my own music by 16 years old. Yeah. Sound, I'm a bridge artist, you know what I mean? So, I acknowledge my predecessors, I acknowledge the past, I live in the present while looking forward to the future. So, I'm kind of a cross-generational artist, so, yeah. I'm always working hard in my craft. I'm always working to be better. I'm always striving to be, reaching that next level. You know what I mean? Whatever that may be, it's something that you feel, something in your spirit, something in your body that's like, you can do better, there's something more. If you hear something that you've done, a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, and you're like, I would have done it like this, that shows you that you're pushing yourself further and harder. So for me, I'm always working, we just finished Audacity, and, now I'm working on the next project. My inspirations are Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, Maxwell, Ne-Yo, Patrice Rushen, Joni Mitchell, Prince, Michael Jackson. It's a lot of influences, man. But honestly, I kind of fused them all together, and here I am. Just a melting pot of all of them. The way that I wrote for Trey Songz would be very different than me writing for myself. Let's say that. Trey, when we were working together, it was really about taking in the experience, understanding his lifestyle, understanding, what he was into, the things that he was going through, the things that was around him. And as for me, I know myself best. So it's creating that narrative in order to connect with the audience as far as, more of a soul-searching process for me. You know what I mean? So, yeah. It depends. It depends. Like, sometimes people are just looking for an up-tempo or whatever, and then sometimes they're looking for things that are really in specific. Like, they'll have a concept to say, this is what the album is about. These are the things that are on my mind. So some people actually really do have a game plan of like how they want the album to be laid out. Sometimes they already have songs that they've already done with other people, and they're like, listen, I want for you to put your own pin to it. Yeah. So I did a couple of songs. I did Touchin' Lovin' featuring Nicki Minaj. I did What's Best for You. I did Coming Home. I did I Know, in parentheses, Can't Give Back. I've done a couple songs, yeah. It's dope. It's dope. It's humbling that such a prestigious publication would even acknowledge me as, a new artist that, has something that is of value. It's so many artists that's out in the market in this world, and for me to be chosen, for me to be looked at is, I appreciate it.
So what was the criteria?
I mean, honestly, just the work ethic, the product, momentum, I think all that, coupled with, just your uniqueness, that helps as well. I was one of, like the few artists during that time where I had a record that sounded different than anything else that was on radio. Where it was a very basic beat with a guitar and just me singing over it, when everything was very like, trap driven. And that was different. Man, it made me stand out. And I know a lot of times people would tell me, nah, don't do that, whatever. But, it helped me to stand out and it helped to pave the way for, a lot of other things. So. Well, as far as like, with each circumstance, there's different plugs. So like with Johnny Gill, my mentor, Troy Taylor, he's the one that kind of set that up. As far as SWV, I met SWV through Brian Michael Cox. Who else was on that list? Babyface. I met Babyface through my former label. He was in a meeting with, I want to say either like the VP and A&R or the president of the label. And so he was just looking for artists that he could work with, because Babyface is hungry like that, and he's a legend, he's a vet, but he loves to work. And so he listened to my music and he was like, I want to work with this kid. And I worked with him for 2 weeks. So, we established that relationship, and I built a bond with the whole camp, including Antonio Dixon, which led me to Toni Braxton. Each and every one had something different about them. What I loved about Jamie Foxx is his work ethic, his ability to absorb, to learn, and then literally spew out whatever he learned in such a quick amount of time. Let's see, Babyface and Diane Warren, both of them are amazing, legendary songwriters, and what makes them great is their hunger, their tenacity in order to want more. They've beat the game, they've acquired everything that anyone could ever dream of, money, fame, all the names, all the accolades, and still their passion is writing. So for me, it let me know that the only way that you can win and really succeed in whatever you do is to be passionate, damn near obsessive about it too. Well, Maxwell Noy Marsha found me, but his management knew my management at the time. And so they connected, and it was really great because of how Maxwell embraced me. And that was my first tour ever. I didn't have any music out, so that was pretty awesome. Marsha, we had crossed paths so much throughout the years that when it was time for her to tour, my salesperson that works for ASMG, which is my company, Art Society Music Group, when we reached out to her about the tour, it made sense. So, when it was time, we connected, we had a great run, and it was awesome. I mean, I've been stuck on a song. Yeah, I've been stuck on a song for about maybe a week or two, just going back and forth over it and just like trying to really figure it out in my head of how I should tackle it and stuff like that. Sometimes I have like notes from, years ago, and, I'll go back on my voice notes and then it'll hit me. And then like maybe like a year or two later, I'll be like, wow, like, okay, let me go ahead and write this song now. So, every song has a place and a time, but, it could take weeks, it could take months, it could take years, so. It depends. Like if I'm writing with someone, then I usually like to, go with their flow. You know what I mean? If it's just me, then yeah, usually I start with the melody, and I put the chords behind it. Then, think of a concept, you know what I mean? Like whatever I'm feeling at the moment, or whatever the melody is like making me feel, or whatever is dictating, right? Sometimes melodies speak to you, and they already have their own colors and mood and vibe, and like it's screaming out the concept to you, right? So I do that, and then usually I construct a beat, no matter if it's simple or elaborate, and then that's how the song is built, You know what? I usually write now. I write now during the day, like a 9 to 5, for sure. So I clock in.
Like you start from 9 to like.
Yeah, I mean it's
clock out.
Yeah, clock in, clock out. But then sometimes you'll have those sessions where you got to do them at night. So sometimes I may start at 8 p.m. You know what I mean, and we'll go all the way up until 4 a.m. or something like that. That's rare nowadays, but they do happen. But for me, like when I want to write, I usually start during the daytime. Get up early, work out. You know what I mean, hit the studio and get it done. The state of R&B. How I feel about the state of R&B is that it's progressive. It's progressing. We're coming from an underground place. We had our shining moments, you know what I mean, decades ago, and we still have shining moments. I just think that it's resurfacing.
Some people are saying it seems like R&B has died, but it seems like kind of
it'll never die. I mean, when you got hip hop artists singing their hooks, right? Because hip hop is based off of storytelling, right? Yeah. And so, in order for hip hop to exist, R&B has to live, right? Yeah. So that's where most of the samples come from. That's how hip hop has. Yeah, and it wouldn't be here if it wasn't for R&B and soul and all of the other kind of musical genres that there are. You know what I mean? So R&B can never die because it always lives through other genres. So for me, I just feel like it's reemerging, and it's going to take some time. And so for me, it's just a waiting game. You know what I mean? You got to run the marathon, and you got to be there for it like it was there for you. Mashups. I started mashups. The funny thing is, my brother sent me an app, right? That's how I started. And he did kind of like pretty much like a basic mashup, you know what I mean? Or not a mashup, but just kind of like an acapella, right? That's what he did. He did an acapella of a song. And I was like, this is dope. And I seen that, and then I sent him an acapella, and we were going back and forth for a while. And then I found another app, and then I expounded upon the process of it. And then, from 2016 to 17 to 18, it just kind of blossomed and developed. And it went from one song to maybe 3 songs, to then 5 or 6 songs. And then, it evolved to say, like, if I want to do mashups, like I was a DJ, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be my own DJ. I want to put my own mix together. Like if I had a house party, how would I put these songs in order? How could I keep the people engaged and keep them rocking? And just from the views and just from people's support, I think that people like it and they gravitate towards it. So I'm grateful.
So that put you out more. Like
Yeah.
People know more of you right now.
Yeah.
Doing the mashup.
Yeah. I mean, some people definitely know me more from my mashups than they do my actual music, which is really cool because it's always good to have multiple avenues and how people know you, right? So not just as an artist, but just as a creative. And I wanted to expand. I wanted for people to understand that I'm exactly. And I wanted to understand that I'm a musical person, you know what I mean? That I have a certain level of musicality to me that may not be expressed, you know what I mean? As far as through song, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Oh, no, so I left Motown, and so now I'm starting my own company, which is Art Society Music Group, and I have partnered with a distribution company, Empire. So they're based out of San Francisco, and so we're doing this partnership, and we just released a record 2 weeks ago. We're already in 6 figures as far as in streaming on all DSPs and platforms. We're going to radio October 22nd in the States, so I'm super excited. Yeah. Yeah, so Thing Called Love is really based off experience of an inability to love someone, an inability to love this person, and you know, really just kind of going through the motions, and being apologetic about it. You know what I mean, and hoping that it's not too late. You know what I mean. You know, will this person stay? Will this person teach me to love, or to teach me about this thing called love? And it's really just a great love song that I feel like a lot of people can relate to as well. Album. So the first part of the album comes out early November, Audacity Volume 1, and then the second part of it comes out early first quarter, Audacity Volume 2. So last night's show was really, really awesome. We had a really great turnout. London crowd received me well. You know, just like with any new artist, you know, they got to get warmed up to you and just kind of feel you out to know what's going on. You know, I didn't have any expectation of what I was, you know, looking to get from them, because I was like, I didn't know if I had a fan base in London, to be honest. So
were you surprised, like, when people say
I was very surprised. You know, I'm always surprised, especially when I come into a new city or just any new place. And if anyone shows up, you know, I'm grateful. So for all those people to show up, you know, to get to know me, and then for us to have the experience that we did last night, I'm humbled and I'm grateful. Georgia Smith is from here, right?
Yeah, of course.
Georgia Smith is from here. LMA is from here.
Of course, yeah.
Let me see. Angel's from here.
Yeah, the Duke,
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Sonarella is from here. So yeah.
So how do you hear from them, online or?
Well, of course, you know, the first two, Georgia Smith and LMA, they made it over to the States. Angel was working with my team for a while, as far as like, you know, just, I want to say he did a deal with Motown or something like that, or
I think so.
something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know,
Yeah,
but you know, that circle, that's how we, you know, kind of like ran across each other. You know, we ran across each other first at ASCAP Awards show. And so they was just like, yo, you got to get in with this cat. He's incredible. So we followed each other online. So I started to, you know what I mean, kind of see how he moved and just like heard his sound. And I was like, whoa, this dude is on another level. You know, he's amazing. Yeah.
Also, Anna, have you heard of a new sound called Afrobeat?
Yes, I love Afrobeats.
Okay, any
Yeah.
particular artists you know?
So
song?
I don't know if is, and I don't want to be disrespectful to any artist either, to put them into a category that they don't want to be in.
Okay.
But artists that I associate with Afrobeats would be like Burna Boy. It would be I know that Coffee's not from here, but you know, like yeah, from Jamaican, yeah.
Like
Who else? Yes, Davido, yep. Wizkid, yep. So yeah, I mean, you know, I love those artists. You know, their songs are really heating up. They're doing well. I think you know, in the States, Beyonce had executive produced the Lion King soundtrack and really featured a lot of Afro beats and just a lot of like international sound. Yeah. Yeah, Tiwa. Yeah, no. Shout out to Tiwa Savage too. We went to college together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So by the time that I came in as a freshman, she was leaving. She was graduating. But yeah, a sweetheart, and very, very proud of her and the legend that she's become. And she's amazing. Yes. So make sure that you follow me at Kevin Ross Music. That is Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. I'm on it. Make sure to be great. Make sure that you download a thing called Love. Make sure that you get Audacity when it comes out early November. Thank you so much.
So when should we be expecting you back in London?
Top of 2020.
Okay.
Yeah,
This
first quarter. Yes, sir. What's going on? This is Kevin Ross. Please subscribe to F78 YouTube channel.